Hey guys, this is Jason from A-Star Training Team. Well, today we're actually going to talk about the specific features on the S-Series VoIP PBX. Well, you guys do remember that last time we were actually talking about how to set your telephone system to make phone calls to the outside and simultaneously to receive phone calls from outside, which means now we've already figured out how to set the call control part of the setting, part of the configuration. We've actually mentioned about a few features, for example, like when we mentioned about the destination in the inbound route, and we've actually talked about IVR and also about the queue, the ring group, something like that. So today, let's just have a check about those features. First one will be the IVR. So what is the IVR? It would be the interactive voice response. It's actually very easy to understand. So that would be kind of like the automatically response when we have the phone call. Actually, this is very practical in our daily life. So think about it. For example, if we were trying to apply a credit card, so basically we will need to make phone call to the bank service, and they're not going to be an agent to handle our phone calls directly. There usually be a system, will be a system prompt. It will be automatically reply us and give us numerous guidance until we reach the final destination. All right, so that would be the thing which we call IVR. Now let's have a check. How are we going to set an IVR? First of all, I would do the same job. I would like to clear the list here. So let's create a new IVR. Just click on Add. We will have a new IVR setting page. Right over here, we can set the IVR number because this would be the destination. So of course, we need a number and we need a name. So for IVR, we need a name. So basically, let's give a name like a greetings. All right. Okay, so this would be the greetings, and here we got a prompt. So prompt will be the thing you're going to play to your clients, and you can just make a selection here. For example, here actually have a system, default setting, and here we have numerous prompts I've actually uploaded by myself. And as for this part of setting, this part of prompt is completely set to go for the voice prompts, and we got custom prompts. Well, when we have this IVR service to the clients, of course, this is not going to be the system prompt. This is definitely will need to be personalized, will need to be customized by ourselves. So we need to record it by ourselves, of course. So how are we going to record IVR, the custom prompt? We will need to record anew, so we can click on it and choose available extension. Choose an available extension here, and you could give a name. So what kind of name are you going to call this prompt? Of course, and you just click on record. So you will get a ring, you will get a phone ring. You just pick up the phone and follow the guidance there. Start your prompt recording. Or you could also upload it by yourself. So for example, you can use your audio device to make some professional recordings, and you save those recordings in your computer, and you can just upload those you can just upload those recordings. That will be fine. But there has a file, the requirement. You have to make sure that the format should be WAV or GSM, and the volume should be under 8 MB. Okay, so for example, I click on browse, and I will need to make a selection. I will need to search for my computer, searching the computer until I find. Here I got prompts. So as you can see, this would be the prompt. I can just choose those prompts and upload it. And another thing here is about here. If we upload this prompt, there's actually got a requirements on the name. So you have to make sure the name of the prompt would be the letters. Okay, letters and numbers are supported, and the other special characters are not supported. For example, I have Arabic, I have Chinese, but if I try to upload Chinese prompt, that's not available. That's not available here. See, this is totally not available. And Arabic, of course, is not supported. So you have to make sure it should be letters or numbers. So for example, if I take English, of course it's okay, and or I take Spanish. So that's also supported because this is a ladder. All right. Okay, so now let's get back to the IVR. Okay, I will do the job for name it. And here, let's just select prompt. Greetings, of course. And here we have prompt repeat count, response timeout, and digit timeout. So what is repeat count? Prompt repeat count. That will be the times for the system to play the prompt. So how many times does the system going to play this prompt totally? So default setting will be 3 times. You can change it, of course. And here we get a response timeout. So what is the response timeout? Have a check here. It will be actually the seconds for the system to wait for the digit input after prompt. The prompt has been finished, and then the system will need to wait for you to dial the specific digit to going further. But if you never do anything there, that will be the timeout. So this timeout, it totally depends on us. How many seconds are we going to set for this response timeout? And of course, we have digit timeout. So what is digit timeout? That would be actually, for IVR, you will need to dial different digits to get the specific destination, right? But between every 2 digits, there should be there actually has a period. So that period should be limited. And here we go. Here is the timeout for us to set the limitation between 2 digits. Okay. And we can activate dial extensions directly. So next time if our clients call to this IVR, he's allowed to call to the extension directly through this IVR. And we could also activate dial outbound routes, which means they can call to the IVR and they can use our, outbound routes to make phone calls to another destination. And the last one would be dial to check voicemail. Well, voicemail is a totally privacy issue. So here, the system will just notify us to change the password to make sure that the voicemail will totally be secured. But you can just ignore it. Well, basically, we don't suggest our clients to set dial outbound routes, to dial check voicemail, because it's not so necessary for our clients, for our users to check voicemail by using IVR for now. All right. Now let's check about the key press event, the very important thing, because we're talking about IVR. So exactly, we will need to dial numbers. So here we go. As you can see here, from number 0 to number 9 and the pound key and asterisk key, we can set the definition for the specific key. And of course, we can set the timeout, we can set the invalid. So here, this would be the IVR. Okay, so you can see here's the key for us to set the IVR. As we were talking about, this is the IVR for greetings. And think about it. In our daily life, if we're trying to call to for example, like bank service, like insurance company, basically they're gonna play the greetings IVR to us, and maybe it's a commercial, maybe it's a advertisement, maybe it's a special offer season, whatever they're playing. And after that, they will say something like, hi, hello, greetings, something like that. Well, here comes the important thing is the options for language services. If you're calling to a bank service, they will basically just ask you to dial specific numbers to choose the specific language service. For example, for English service, please press 1. For Chinese service, please press 2. They will need to do something like that. So you will need to set the specific destination, which will be another IVR. All right. So that you can go in further. All right. Now I click on save. It's because it seems that now we only have this greetings IVR. So we have, We can't. I mean, we can't set this greetings IVR being finished now. So we will need to create something else, which is called English service, right? Just to make it complete. And here we get a prompt, so we can choose available prompt for the English service. And here's the key press event. So for example, if we choose English service and I press 1, it will help me to find the sales team. So I just choose ring group, and here just drop it to sales team. And here I press 2 for maybe it's a Chinese service or maybe it's technical support. So I will choose another ring group. Here would be the tech support. And I click on save, click apply. And this will be the English service, and I will need multiple language. So here I will drop another one, which is called Chinese. Okay. And about the prompt, I will choose available prompt. Anyway. And key press event. I will do the same job to sales team. Here would be the tech support. All right. Now, I will need to get back to the general IVR, which will be the greetings. Click at it here. Let's set the key press event. So basically press 1 for Chinese service. So you will go to the Chinese. For press 2, you will go for the English service. You will just need to choose another IVR, which will be our English IVR. Now, click on save. So now we just have this IVR and get back to call control. The inbound route, right over here, we can choose the destination. For example, if we choose destination, the IVR, okay, the IVR. Here, I will just need to choose the greetings. So our clients, they just need to follow the guidance, go to the final destination. Okay, since we were talking about to set the ring group, like sales team, like the tech support team for the IVR setting, now let's have a check about the ring group. Let's see how are we going to make the ring group. So currently I have 3 ring groups already existed in the system. Let's just create a new one. So we will need to click on the add, and right over here you will see the number of the ring group. Like I've mentioned for several times that this is going to be the destination, so exactly we will need a number and we will name it, of course. So about this ring group, how about let's just name it like logistics. Okay, and here we will just need to select available extensions who belong to this department. So for example, let's take a few guys okay, so this 4 persons, I'm going to drop them to the right hand on my right hand here, and you will see this 4 persons, they belong to the ring group of logistics. And here is the ring strategy. Say, if we make this ring group, so someone called to this ring group, of course, those 4 people will be informed. But how? They're going to be a question. So this would be the solution for us to solve that question, to solve that problem. It's about the ring strategy. As you can see here, we support 2 methods about the ring strategy. You could ring them all. You could ring sequentially. So if I take ring them all, that will be all of those guys, they will receive the phone call. Well, if I take ring sequentially, so that phone ring will start it from the first agent. As you can see here, we have an order. The first, the second, third, and fourth, we have an order. So it will start it from the first one. And if the first agent is not available, so it will switch to the second one. Because here we got seconds to ring each members, as you can see here. I said 20 seconds. If I said 10 seconds, so that means the first person got 10 seconds for a phone ring, but if he never answered that phone call, it will probably get switched to the second person. Well, about this order is totally available for us to make a change. For example, I can switch it back. I can switch the top side to the bottom, or I can switch back. All right. And the last part would be this failover destination. So if our clients call to the ring group, but there's no one is actually available to pick up that phone calls, it just wait for so long time. So perhaps it would be a failover. So what exactly are we going to handle that phone call? That would be the place for us to set the failover destination. So we will need to choose another destination to handle that phone call. We can just drop it to hang up, or we can transfer phone calls to another place, to another destination, like a specific extension or voicemail, or another ring group, of course, or to the queue, to the conference. So let's just set voicemail. That will be available here. You can just click on save and apply. Now you have your ring group now. Okay, since we were talking about the ring group, as you can see, it's actually not so complex thing. It's actually a very easy way for us to handle those phone calls for the specific extensions. So we can put them in together. We can put them together, be a group to handle those phone calls. Well, if we have a mass quantity of phone calls, perhaps this ring group is not enough. It's not okay to handle mass quantity of phone calls. So we will have another feature which is called queue. All right, now let's check about the queue. Let's just create a new one, have a check here. As you can see here, basically it will be very similar with our ring group, of course. So we will need a number and we're gonna need to name it. So take an example, this queue, I'm gonna drop it as a sales team. So I give a name sales. And we will need to select available agents, all right, belong to this sales team. So let's just choose a few guys, drop them here. So for example, I'll take 4 persons here. And of course, let's have a check. So in other words, if someone calls to this queue, all right, so those 4 persons could handle that phone calls. But how? So we will need to select the ring strategy for those agents. Check on this place. Here you will see that there's only the ring all is as same as before, the previous ring group, but the rest of those options are totally different. So let's check about them one by one. So if I choose ring all, that's very easy to understand. You're gonna ring all those agents, of course, if we got a phone calls here. But if you choose least recent, all right, let's check about the definition here. So see, least recent, that means ring the agent which was least recently called. So that's actually very clear. And we also get a fewest calls. So that means ring the agent with the fewest completed calls. All right. So least recent and fewest calls is actually talking about since the moment when we activate this PBX system. All right. And since the moment we create this queue. So they will actually, the system will start to calculate on that moment. All right. Okay, what about next? Next one will be the random. So if we take random, that means we will never ever have any idea who's going to be the next person to get a phone ring, right? Because it's random. And also the round robin with memory hunt. All right, it's actually very easy to understand. If you take round robin with memory hunt, so here has an order. As we've mentioned for several times, same as before we've done for the queue, for the ring group. So you can change the order here, of course, right? So if we take this round robin with memory hunt, the system will always remember the position for ring every single agent in this queue. So for example, if the first call comes in, the 1000 get a phone ring. So system will actually just remember the position here, and the next phone call comes in, it will automatically switch to 1020. All right. But if we choose linear, and you can see here we got an order, right? The first, the second, third, and fourth. So this is gonna be the order. But if we take linear, the system just follow this order. Just follow this default order, all right? From the first one to the last one. So in other words, it means if the first agent is available, he will always get the phone ring. That's actually not so good, because if this person is available all the time, so he will always be the guy to get a phone ring. So other persons, they will never ever have any possibility to get a phone ring, except the first person is busy, is not available. Okay. And check about here. We can choose the failover destination. Of course, if we call to the queue and we get a failover, so we still have chance to keep our clients in the telephone system by choosing an additional destination for it. So maybe we can transfer the phone call to the specific extension. That will be fine. We can transfer to agent directly. All right. Okay. So another thing here is about the password. Have a check here. So what exactly can we do for the password? Well, think about it. Currently, I take these 4 persons, I drop those 4 persons in this queue. So those 4 persons, they are the permanent agents in this queue. All right, what about the rest? The rest of person, if they want to access the queue, is that possible? Yes, it's possible. Let's have a check. If they want to access the queue, they can just using feature code to access in. But if we set the password, so that means it is not everyone can access in the queue. It's actually only the person who knows the password can access in. All right. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so here we can see the agent timeout, agent announcement, and ring in use, and what else? We have wrap up time and retries. So for agent timeout, have a check here. That will be the seconds for an agent's phone can ring before we consider it's a timeout. So you got that meaning, right? It's actually very easy. That means if the phone calls in, we got a phone ring for 1021 for that extension. All right, so here's the deal. How many seconds are we going to ring that extension? So here is the place for us to set that duration. And we get an agent announcement. So agent announcements is actually is optional. You can choose a system prompt and you drop it here. You can choose a prompt. This is customized prompt. I'm sorry. You can drop it here. So next time when your agent access in the system, it's gonna play this prompt. And here we got a ring in use. So ring in use, if you activate it, have a check about the definition here. So if you are activate ring in use, so even those person who belong to the queue, they are currently on the phone, which means they're busy now, is busy online. But we will still calculate this person. We will still count this person in this queue. So that means if we choose, for example, like if we choose the for example, like if we choose we choose any kind of this ring, for example, like ring all. If we choose ring all, so if 1000 currently he's busy, but he will still be included in this queue. He's not out of the queue, even he's busy online. And or if we take or another example, if we take linear. And the first agent, 1021, currently he is on the phone. He's busy now, but just coincidentally, we get a phone ring, we get a phone calls in, and the phone will still goes for him for 30 seconds, even he's not available now, but still count him in. All right, and the most important thing here would be the wrap-up time. That's actually a very, very amazing feature for those persons who want to use the queue. Specifically, for example, like we have a group of people, we have a group of guys, they work for the insurance company, and every single agent, they need to handle cases from our clients. And basically, clients call the insurance, they just need very important information. So for our agents, they definitely need to take notes when they have the phone calls. But when they hold their phones, they can't just take everything. They can't just write everything on the paper. That's different. That's difficult. So perhaps when they finish that phone call, they may need a little bit of time, and so that they can check back their note. They can just make sure that all of those important points could be completely catched by him, all right? So he will need a little bit of time for that kind of work. That's the reason why we said the wrap-up time. For example, if 1021, he got a phone call here and he will need to take notes. And when he finished that phone call, he will have 30 seconds. Here I'm actually choosing 30 seconds. So he will have 30 seconds for his, his notes checking. So during that 30 seconds, he will not gonna be included in this queue. Well, after 30 seconds, he'll be back automatically. All right, so this would be the basic setting for us, for our side. Okay, let's check about our client set. So for those people who want to call to the queue, it's about the clients. We have some kind of settings for the caller experience setting. Have a check here. The first one would be the music on hold. Yeah, definitely it's okay. We can choose a music on hold. We can choose a music and we drop it there. So when they call to the system is going to play the music until the agent can handle that phone call. And here we can set caller max wait time. So for example, if this caller calls in, how many seconds are we gonna drop him to wait for until the agent pick up the phone? We can set a duration here, the limitation here. And we can also choose leave when empty. So that means if there's no available agents in the queue, the caller will actually automatically, just leave this queue. But we can also activate join empty. So even there's no available agents in the queue, but they can still call in. And of course, we can choose announcements here for join announcements. So when they entering the queue, they will be played by they're gonna be a prompt played to them. Okay, and of course we can play agent ID announcement. So that will be actually very practical for some features like that, for some solution for call center, So you can just play the prompt to inform your clients the agent ID, who's going to be the agent now will serve for you, some kind of information like that. And also you can do the satisfaction survey prompt. That's also available here. You can set it by yourself. And of course, the caller position announcements is also available. So for example, if we have numerous callers currently on the line, so perhaps we need to take a little bit time to handle our clients' issues. So we can play the announcements for them just to inform them about their position here and about their the hold time. It's kind of like that, and we can choose the frequency. So how many seconds are we going to play that prompt again? And except for that, we can also set the periodic announcements, especially like I've mentioned that you can play advertisement, you can play your commercial during that moment. So for example, if clients is on the line now, but it's not available to handle that calling, he just needs to wait for a while. Yeah, during that moment, we can play some commercials, we can play some advertisements, some special offer season, whatever, some things like that. We can play it to the clients. And of course, if clients wait for so long time, and we can also provide them another option, which will be key event. So we can, for example, we can choose number 0. So they can definitely just dial number 0 to transfer this phone call to another place. Maybe it's going to be hang up, or maybe going to be a specific extension. All right, now click on save, click on apply. Now we just have our queue set. Okay, except for the queue, ring group, IVR, very basic, very important features, and we also have the conference. So for example, if you want to have your weekly conference for the company, for office, it's totally fine. You just create your own conference room right over here. Of course, there's going to be the number generated by the system, and you will need to name this conference. So for example, we need a weekly meeting. So I just drop a name weekly. So here you can have a check here. So here you can set the participant password, you can set the moderator password, and of course you can also choose wait for moderator. So what does it mean? It means have a check here. If I select agent, I drop him here. So currently 1021 will be the only moderator of this conference. So he's going to be the administrator of the conference. And if I activate wait for moderator, so other persons, if they're trying to join the conference, I mean, it's okay, they can just call this number, right? But they can call the number, system will just inform them, please wait for the moderator. So if our moderator is not online now, so they have to wait until these moderators join in the conference so they can start the conversation, they can start the discussion. All right, and here we can also set a password. So if I set 111, this is for participant password. If those agents, they access in by using this password, well, their identity will be the participant. They can do nothing actually, just the normal participant. And I can also set the 222 as the moderator password. So if someone accessing the system, accessing the conference by using 222, well, his identity will become a moderator, which means he could invite person, he could kick out somebody, it's totally fine. And we can also allow participant to invite or disable. Okay, and of course, here we can choose sound prompt. You can choose default or you can choose extension number as you want. So click on save. Now we just have this weekly meeting conference. So next time if people are trying to have this a weekly meeting, basically they just need to call 6402. Then they can access in this conference. Okay. And the next feature I would like to talk about will be the speed dial. Have a check here. So talking about speed dial, there's actually a very practical application scenario in our daily life. For example, in the office, people are really busy. They only, for example, for the lunchtime. During the lunchtime, perhaps people only got 1 hour for rest for lunch. So they do have a requirement. They do want to make a phone call to call the restaurant, help them deliver food. All right, that's very practical. But if they want to order some food, they don't want to call that number every time, the restaurant number. It's not easy for agents to remember that number. They actually want to have a very easy way to access the restaurant. So we can set a speed dial right over here. Click on add right over here. You just drop your speed dial code. It could be 1, it could be 12, it could be 1, 2, 3, whatever you want. And here you just band with the, for example, like I've said that example, you just band with the restaurant number. So any number you just band it here. All right. And don't forget to drop your identification number here. If your outbound call, use number 9 as the outgoing as the dial pattern. So you also need to mention here. All right, click on save right over here. And so next time if you're trying to call that restaurant, basically you just need to pick up your phone and right over here you need to activate your speed dial prefix. That means the feature code. So you will need to enter that feature code and dial your 123, that speed dial code. So that phone call will automatically transfer to the restaurant. It will help you save a lot of time, make everything becoming really easy. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. That was all for that was all for this session. That was all for our features introduction. And we're going to talk about our maintenance. We're going to talk about the maintenance in the next session. Alright guys, that was all for today's session. That was all for the basic introduction about our features, and we're gonna have a further discussion about maintenance of the system in the next video. See you guys. See you guys soon.